Thanks for tuning in to Main Home Gardens. It is so good to see you again. If you've been here before, then you know that this channel is all about growing big from home. If you're new here, then we'd love for you to stay, subscribe, like, and share this content with others. This particular video that you're about to see is the second part in our community series that we've been doing, and this particular post is basically a presentation that was shared at a local community event about going from a gardener to a homesteader. If you have any questions about anything that you're going to see in this video, then I encourage you to please reach out. Enjoy. That Mr. Currington right there in the picture right here and Mr. Khan helped us to build back in 2020. It's 936 square feet and it is the primary space where we grow our vegetation. Growing though is just the beginning of taking care of yourself and becoming sustainable. So I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about the difference between a gardener and a homesteader and how to transition from one to the other. So when you hear a farm or you hear a name of a business, generally that is going to convey to you what that business does. Aunt Katie's Community Garden. What do you get from that? A community. Yes, sir. All right. This is our name, Main Home Gardens. What do you get from that name? Home, family, garden. So when we decided to name our property this, our business this, we wanted to convey the fact that we were a family and that we had several gardens throughout our property, but it is also our home. The world is crazy. So you have to be careful who you invite into your said home, into your said space. And so for us, we invite people that we know and that we're comfortable with, ones we've met throughout the community, but just a general thing, we generally don't just have people there. When I was naming this, my fellow friend, and she also works in this community, her name is Rachel. She named her, we did this together, she's my farm buddy, or one of many. They named their farm Hawkins Homestead Farm. What do you get from that? Hawkins Homestead Farm. Yes. So in her name, you kind of get the idea of where we're going. Between both her name and ours, you get garden, you get family, you get homestead. So let's just talk a little bit about the differences between the two. Just reading it off the screen there, gardening is the act of growing plants for food or pleasure. Is there anyone here that just likes to grow? You don't really want to do anything with it, you just like to see it grow? Yeah? Or what if you started out that way? Started out that way? Okay, yeah. So that would have made you in that moment a gardener. Yeah, and maybe you have friends who grow stuff and they grow it so well, but then they're like, hey, can you come get some of these peppers? Hey, can you come get some of this? Because they don't know what to do with it. They don't have the time or energy to do anything with it. So they give it away, which is good. It's better than wasting it. But a homesteader is a lifestyle. You have a lifestyle that's focused on self-sufficiency. You use what you grow in your garden. You use your chickens, you use your rabbits to fertilize your garden, and then you preserve all of that so that you are not dependent on the current food system. In 2020, when COVID was at its height, we all saw how fragile the food system can be. And I think a lot of people that are currently gardening or into homesteading now are doing so because they saw, yeah, I can't depend on the government. I can't depend on the system. And it's not a knock against the system. It's just acknowledging a weakness there. So comprehensively, everything that you do as a homesteader is geared toward making yourself more self-sufficient. I depend on me. I depend on my property. I depend on my soil. I love coming last because everything that everybody has said before really ties into what we're talking about now. food preservation, sustainability, animal husbandry. All of that ties into what homesteading is. So you have to figure out, as an individual that is wanting to transition from a gardener to a homesteader, why? Why do you want to do it? You want to do it because you love gardening? Well, then you may want to stay a gardener. What if you want to be self-sufficient? Homesteading is where you need to be. Do you have health concerns? I do. I have a lot of diagnoses that I am trying to address with the things that I grow and how I use those things, and to become less dependent on pharmaceuticals and more dependent on nature. Or maybe you're that last one that we just talked about. You just don't trust the food supply system. Don't trust it at all. If any of these apply to you, there is something going to be in this program for you. The first thing that I want anybody to do that's interested in homesteading, even if you don't own your property, even if you have a little spot that you're renting from somebody, go look at it. Survey it. I promise you there are things already growing there that you can benefit from. When we moved onto our property, right there in the left side of the screen, the yellow, is something called goldenrod. Now, people around here have a lot of people, I won't say everyone, confuse it with ragweed. They come around about the same time, but goldenrod is beneficial for allergies, inflammation. It grows wild. Like, it's literally, and it tastes good. It literally it's a good tea. You can use the flowers, you can use the leaves. You got some allergies, that with some honey is gonna probably knock it up better than anything at the pharmacy. Goldenrod, yes ma'am. Another thing that we found on our property that was already growing, among other things, was beautyberry, which is in the tree, in the picture above there in the teacup. Beautyberry is native to the area. It grows wild. I've literally seen it growing beside light posts on the side of the road. It takes no maintenance. It does what it's going to do on its own. But the benefits of it, it's really good for mosquito repellent. If you're someone that has an issue with a lot of chemicals and stuff like that, you can make your own mosquito repellent out of that. Some witch hazel, some alcohol, you're done. It's just it. You're done. Understanding what's already there can save you a lot of money and a lot of time. Before I figured out that was goldenrod, we were cutting it down every year. Every year, and I could just slap myself. But now that I know, we don't do that anymore. We leave it, we let it do what it's gonna do. We leave some for the bees, because by the time it's coming up, other stuff is dying off. We leave some for the bees, we use some, it's all good. Once you do that, you're gonna wanna start thinking about what you like to eat as far as fruit. Fruit, what you like to see as far as flowers. What do you like to eat as far as herbs? What's medicinal? What's gonna work for you? Most medicinal herbs are perennial, which means they're gonna come back for you every year. And where we live in this area, most will come back. Either they're a perennial like your rosemary, or they're gonna be something like basil, which will self-seed, which means if you let those flowers come up and the bees start humming around, those seeds are gonna drop off and you'll forever have a basil bed there. You don't have to do anything. It's gonna come back every year. Perennial flowers are very important. Native flowers are very important, because that's what draws these pollinators that we need to make sure that everything that we're working for is gonna grow like it needs to. We're gonna have proper pollination, and we're gonna have plenty of it. Fruit trees, it's important to do all of this early, as soon as you can, because a lot of your fruit trees are not gonna bear early. You're gonna be waiting for a while. And so if sustainability is something you're concerned about today, my advice to you is to research and figure out what trees you want to grow, because it could be 3 years, 5 years down the road before you see any fruit from that tree. All right, so this just goes back to what we were just talking about. Those perennials that we were talking about, you plant them one time. You're gonna have to wait for a minute for most of them. But after that, you're going to be benefiting for years, and your children will even be benefiting from the trees that you plant. These are just a few of the perennials that we have on our farm, on homestead, whatever you want to call it. I feel weird calling it a farm since I live there, but technically it is what it is. We have a fig tree. That fig tree has bared since we put it in the ground. It just has done remarkable. We have pear trees. That is a peach tree there pictured. We have nectarine trees. We have purple bee balm, or bergamot, wild bergamot, some people call it. It's also another medicinal herb, but we just drink it as a tea, and we just get those benefits as we're drinking it. We have 3 lemon trees. A friend of ours grew these from seed. When she gave them to us, they were literally in a red Solo cup, and now they are 12 feet tall. It's amazing. They did that in about 5 or 6 years. We installed goji berries last year. They are very prolific. You know, goji berry is one of those miracle foods. A lot of benefits there. But this is not the limit. We are in such a special place here in Dothan, Alabama. We can grow so much stuff. And the list of things that you can grow that can help build your pantry as you learn more skills and things like that are endless. But before you buy something, and learn from my mistake, with our peach and nectarine trees, we did not research enough when it comes to disease resistance. That's the other thing about the South. Because of how warm it stays most of the year, disease and pests can be a really big issue. So you're going to want to make sure you're researching and getting varieties that have high disease resistance and high pest tolerance, especially when it comes to stone fruit. So you've figured out what trees you want. You've got them installed. You got your little garden going. Now you're thinking, well, maybe I should. Eggs, you know, they went up. How many times have we seen where there was some type of disease and all the chickens got wiped out and they had to start 0, and then the eggs were stupid, retarded prices? So you might want to get chickens for meat. You might want to get them for eggs. You might want to get rabbits for fertilization. You might want to get chickens for that. But you need to consider a few things. You need to consider where you are. Covenants. Even if you own your home. I had a friend who bought property, and they bought it with the purpose of putting a high tunnel on it, and found out after buying it and starting the high tunnel that there were covenants that they did not know about that prevented them from doing it. They had to have a home built on it first before they could do any type of anything else. So please pay attention to the covenants in your area. Usually those are managed by HOA. This area did not have an HOA, so it was really, really odd. But it's an older town, so it is what it is. The zoning laws, pay attention to that. Some areas you can have a chicken, you can have a hen, but you can't have a rooster because of the noise. And some areas you can just slide under the radar if you just get a hen, because they're not going to crow and make all the noise. Consider how much time you have to give these animals. I put that under rabbits because we have rabbits. We have large breeds, giant chinchilla, Flemish giant, but we also have a couple of small breeds. As gentle as they are, they will die for no reason. They require a lot more time to pay attention to them, to monitor them, checking for their ears, for ear mites, their claws, their teeth. If you don't have the time, don't do it. It's not good for them. It's not good for you. And it's going to be a bad situation. Chickens, however, are a little bit less suicidal. They can manage themselves a little bit better. Obviously, they do better with free range, but also know that chickens they have these great personalities. Okay, so you're looking at your chicken on your plate and you're thinking, but trust me, chickens are fun. They have their favorite people. They have their favorite foods and everything. So you may end up being that type of person that's retired and you just want to have a little bit more companionship. Either one of those. These are the only two that I can speak on because these are the only two that we have. But I've heard that goats and ducks are also very good for homesteads as well. Then you get to the point where things are starting to add up. How can you manage that? I'm a nurse, and I graduated from nursing school in 2004, but I have not worked for a while. My husband he works full time, and so there's one income basically in our home. So cost is very important. You know, we're wanting to get into this to cut costs, not to break the bank. So the best thing that you can do is what you're doing today, networking. The gentleman that just left, what was his name? Yes, he said, I got some trees. If you want them, get them. Get them. Just talking with each other. And even if they may not have something they can give you, maybe they can give you a cutting. A lot of these trees that we've talked about, specifically perennials, can be propagated, which means you can take a piece of it, you can strip back the little bark, you can put some root hormone on there or some honey, and you can put it in soil, and it will give you another tree. You can cut some time off there too, time and money. That's what the propagation is. Someone earlier talked about composting. Composting is awesome because I don't know if you've paid attention to how much a bag of soil costs at the store, but it's ridiculous. And if it's composted soil, our farm is also certified naturally grown, which means we can only use things that are OMRI listed or USDA certified organic as far as inputs on our farm, as far as fertilizing, even what we feed our chickens. It has to all be certified. So imagine me having to buy bags upon bags of composted soil that's certified ORMI. It's going to be ridiculous. So instead, we can turn around, we can use our manure from our chickens, compost that. We can take the manure from our rabbits, and we can also compost that. Food, eggshells, like there's so much that you can do. I'm planning also on coming back to the composting class that you guys are doing, because I keep struggling with keeping it hot enough. So I'm coming back for that. But that is one way that you can save money. Also, everybody gets garden fever when it's spring and everything is growing and the Lowe's parking lot's packed out. Home Depot is packed out. Let them spend their money. You don't need to do that. You do not need to do that. Wait till that stuff goes on clearance and come back. Yes, it's not necessary. But, you know, we're just kind of programmed that way to do it, but it's not needed. No matter what you do, like, you can do every single thing right. And then here comes a monsoon. Here comes a hurricane. Here comes this new bug that you've never seen on your property before. You forgot to water the bed. You know, you went on vacation and the person that's supposed to come didn't come, or they forgot. There's so many unpredictable things and things that will be out of your control. You got to go ahead and sit down and recognize, I'm going to screw up. I'm going to mess up. And when that happens, if you prepare for it, it doesn't hit as hard. I have literally cried over plants. My daughter will tell you. I have literally cried. And don't get me started on the animals. Like, my husband is like, okay, I'm coming home. Like, the rabbit is dying in my arms. I am in a panic. Like, what do I do? It's just part of it. When you deal with life and you're learning how to deal with life, you're going to mess up. But also, life is not perfect. We're still learning how to come into balance with everything around us. And so as a result, I mean, things are just going to happen. But that's okay. I don't want you guys to give up. I didn't give up. I'm not that type of person to give up anyway. I'm very tenacious. Matter of fact, my husband met me. We started dating. That's his nickname. He called me Tenacious B. And that's just who I am. But you have to have a level of tenacity in order to progress in a world that wasn't really built for you to progress in. Growing your own food is not what our society pushes. And a lot of times when you get into it, people are going to say, why are you doing that? You could be doing something. Why are you using them herbal remedies? Just go to the doctor. There's going to be some pushback, but it's not anything malicious. People just don't fully understand where you're going. One day they will. Does anybody recognize what that is up there on the animal? Any of the kids? What is it? Honey badger. Yes. You know what I like about the honey badger? It says there, it is one of the most fearless animals, known for its tenacity, high pain tolerance, and willingness to confront much larger predators like lions to protect itself or secure food. That's what we're doing. We're securing food. As we secure food, we are securing a future for ourselves. We're securing a future for our children and our grandchildren. We're teaching each other to be better, and we're relying on each other to do so. So be a honey badger. Be a honey badger, okay? Don't give up. And if you need some help along the way, we're here. We're on all of the platforms. That is my full family, the family of 4 that manages our farm. Our son has moved out, but he does come over. As you can see him there butchering a chicken. Ty is up there harvesting nectarines. We put recipes, we have a blog, we have a vlog as well. But also, if through any of those means, if you have questions, you can ask, and I'll be more than happy to help. But also, you've got a great resource here in Mr. Jackson, in Orrin, in, what's your name? Who? Phil and Becky. Like, all of these people are, as you can see from today, they want to help, and they want take advantage of it, because there may come a time where that type of wisdom is harder to access. So do it while you can. And the process, we are learning from you as well. There's nothing that any farmer knows 100%. Nobody does.